Welcome to another edition of the replay. Y'all ready to do this? Let's go. Good evening and welcome to another edition of the replay where we trying to make your day. I'm your host, Jabril Rashad, aka Real Deal Jabril, and joining me to the stage is none other than my special guest, my hitters, Mr. Tim Action Jackson from Nebraska, as well as Daryl Alexander the Great. Good evening to your brothers.
Good
What's
evening,
up?
my brothers. You know, it's
We got it,
always
man.
a blessing.
Hey, man, we here another day, and you're absolutely correct. It's always a blessing. Big shout out to everybody that's coming in this evening. We're here to uncover a lot of things that's happened recently, taking place. We're gonna, dive off into this in just a second. But before we do anything, y'all know what to do for you guys. Please hit that like, subscribe, share, and notification button so we can continue to grow this channel, man, and bring y'all the best content that we possibly can. So, fellas, man, we missed. Well, you all missed Friday for whatever reason, difficulty. It was actually, and we never. And I told the people, man, we don't ever go on this late after the fact. We must have started us a new nightcap. Maybe we got a after hour. We should call ours after hours, I guess. Some similar.
I just felt like you wanted to go solo. I'm like, well,
I said Dolo solo, but no, that wasn't my intention at all, at all. But I don't know. I was probably having a little bit of technical difficulty with these emails, but nonetheless, we got it up, man, after that Dallas Mavericks game. We're gonna recap just a little bit of that, man. But we're gonna talk about something that this evening, starting out. We'll just unpack this right now. I want to start out talking about Kyrie. We got the NBA Finals. NBA Finals coming up this Thursday, game one. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But I had this particular question I want to ask you guys on the panel this evening regarding Kyrie Irving, the Dallas Mavericks, again, the Boston Celtics, game one this Thursday. But guys, I want to ask y'all, before you answer this, though, I'm going to come to you, but the question is going to be, can Kyrie Irving deliver? But before you answer, I want to play this quick video.
And they've allowed me to do that while also becoming who they are. I told them from day one when I first met them that I want to see them be better than me. And in order to do that, you have to give them secrets of the game. You have to give them, mental, secrets as well to help become a better player. I think those guys were ultra talented, JT, JB, off the court. I mean, we know we know each other's families, and that's the type of relationship I've always wanted outside of the game of basketball, is to be able to have that balance to compete with people on the court, but also treat them like my brothers and be there for them and whatever they need. Much put it to bed that I don't think a lot of my teammates hate me. My former teammates hate me. I don't know, kind of what was being shared intimately with some of the media personnel that was, reporting over the past few years. I'm just talking about when I first left Boston. I've embraced all those guys. So it's been the same. I've taken them under my wing in a very different way, and they've allowed me to do that while also becoming who they are.
Okay, guys, that's what I want to talk about first and foremost, man. Kyrie Irving, can he deliver? Because I saw an interesting stat regarding Kyrie Irving since he left the Boston Celtics, relating to his wins and losses with Boston. He's 2-6 since leaving Boston, 2-6, and has like a 10 game loss percentage to the Boston Celtics. I was kind of surprised. A 10-game losing streak to the Boston Celtics. I was like, wow, I like to fact check there. But yeah, that's what they're saying. He's 2-6. But after he went 2-6, he lost 10 straight after that. So the question is, they was asking him at the pregame NBA Finals interview or what have you regarding the relationship he's had in the past while he was in Boston. Some of those guys came in and he was kind of, mentoring them a little bit. But then the media made a big splash of it about, how he wasn't patient enough. And then, of course, he went on the record saying at that time he was kind of in a dark spot because he had lost his grandfather and really didn't know how to really lead or mentor, perhaps. But I want to come to you first, DA, on this regarding Kyrie Irving. The question is, again, can he deliver against the Boston Celtics, or will he finally get over the hump, man. Get this, because he's lost one. Well, he won one championship. I think he lost 4. But will this be Kyrie's time, man, to deliver this championship and bring it back to Dallas?
I absolutely think he delivers. Like, I think this is this has been his goal for a while now. Since Cleveland winning the championship with LeBron in Cleveland. This is the goal, and he's back. He's not injured. He's in a great headspace. He's a lot more mature, and he's got a pretty decent team around him where he doesn't have to just do everything. He can light it up when he gets ready, but he knows, he's got Bouncy Boy and the other players who can get it done when he's not, when he's not feeling it or he's just not ready to carry the team. This is a perfect opportunity. I think he's mature enough because it's not going to be the Boston players. It's going to be the fans that give him the most problems. Those fans are just obnoxious anyway, just period, from decades and decades ago, and they're pretty much still the same. They're a little bit better because the NBA rules are a little different, but they're still going to give him the business, man. Every game, probably every time he touches the ball, he may get booed. So, but I think he can handle it now. He's in a mental place where he can handle that.
Tim, what's your insight? Talk to me. What you see with this Kyrie Irving? Can he deliver, man? Can he bring back the chip?
You know the beauty about basketball that I actually love. It's certain people you get a chance to follow. It was Kobe. I used to follow him as he grew, right? He had his problems. Remember, the media was totally against him at some point, and all of a sudden he became a Mamba and dealt with that mentality. Just that growth, watching him grow as a man, and watching the evolution of Kyrie, right? Come through the situation, dealing with these things, right? And he's trying to say the right thing, but the media is attacking him left and right. And even his peers, or not his peers, the ones who came before him are attacking him left and right. They're coming at him left and right. The Charles Barkleys, the Stephen A's, and so on, or attacking him, Shaquille O'Neal, or attacking him about his character when actually the things he did stood strong ground, but they actually used this attack to say that, hey, it's about basketball, and we're talking about basketball. He's not playing basketball, so therefore, he's not being on the court, and so therefore he's detrimental to his team, right? And so to see the evolution of a man grow from the Boston situation, and you gave the stats of him losing against Boston, but his teams haven't been good against Boston, and coming to Dallas, right? And then they didn't do well in Dallas. Dallas didn't do well against them this season. Hadn't done well against them in a while because they had a better team. And they first played, all the guys were there, but both Gafford and a guy from Dallas were coming off the bench that time.
PJ Washington.
Yeah, PJ Washington was coming off the bench. So both of them come off the bench when they played them. So they wasn't fully worked out. They were just getting started, and actually they was in that losing streak too. So they was playing bad. They hadn't figured out the way, and Jason Kidd was learning who to play and who not to play. And so he playing minutes to people that actually not getting. Yeah, exactly. So my thoughts on Kyrie as he evolved, he's in a special place at this particular time, and this energy allows him to actually be a leader, even better leader than he was even in Boston. He alluded to his leadership in Boston, but he also alluded to some of his growth he needed to go through. He was going through some pain and some trauma from the loss of his grandfather. So as we go through those traumas and we grow and we learn how to deal with those things and how we pour into other people, man, he's been pouring into people. Man, he's just a great reminder of what it is to be a leader and to actually help people evolve as well as you evolve. That's a beautiful thing, and he will deliver. I promise.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think they, placed, too many or too much emphasis on a lot of the things that happened when the trade, because they said they played Boston twice this year. Of course, Boston won both times. One was prior to the trade, and then it was after the trade. But then at the same time, you're still talking about they're trying to gel. They had Josh Green in the lineup, and they just wasn't who they are right now. So I think they hear the chit chatter, they hear the noise, they hear all the naysayers, and of course, I definitely agree with you, DA. And I'm glad that Kyrie spoke to that, because he talked about how this is going to be a rowdy environment. People are going to say what they're going to say, but I think he's very well prepared for. I definitely think he has a supporting cast. I think he's going to come out, man, and set the tempo. I really do. I think underneath that, that hood of the car, so to speak, is a lot of fervor, a lot of will to want to rewrite a wrong, especially sticking in a little bit. And I'll tell you something else about this whole matchup with the Dallas Mavericks and Boston Celtics as it relates to our backcourt. Luka and Kyrie have such a chemistry going, and such a kindred spirit. I think if he started to look at Kyrie and feel like Kyrie or the other fans are giving him a little bit too much, Luka's gonna come to his aid. And I can see Luka. I'm telling you, it wouldn't surprise me if he dropped 40 to 50 on the Boston, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be game 1, 2, 3, or 4, but Luka have that kind of in him because he highly respects Kyrie. Kyrie came to his assistant when they was playing Oklahoma. I think he want to take some of that pressure off of Kyrie going back to Boston. I can see Luka really, man, unleashing and having a 40 to a 50-point game against Boston one of these games.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. How about you, DA? What you thought?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's I take it one step further. I see Kyrie having a 40 or 50 on Boston. Games, to be honest.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that because, again, as you know, I showed some of the highlights from Game 6 the other night, and I'm so glad that Derek Lively got back in the lineup. I mean,
it was much smoother with him in there.
His hands are so active, man.
I didn't know he passed as well as he did.
Yeah, his hands are so active. He keeps the game alive, and he does the little things, man, that may not always appear or come up on the stat sheet. But not having Derek Lively in that second unit, I think definitely caused us an opportunity to sweep Minnesota, because had he been in that lineup, I truly believe we would have swept Minnesota without question.
You know what I noticed? What I just noticed that last game that he does well, and I had never noticed it before. When he comes to the top of that key to get that entry pass, the way he just turns and boom, hits the right person. Was like, I've never noticed that about him before that last game. I didn't know he was that smooth with it. But, he kept that flow, kept that rhythm, kept them boys out balance.
Yeah, he did. Let me shout out to everybody that's coming on to the replay. This is the replay where we're trying to make your day. Go ahead and shout out in the comments what y'all think about this upcoming series between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. We're talking about Kyrie Irving right now. Can Kyrie Irving deliver? He got a lot to go into, as they say, the Lions' den. Still dealing, Boston, they've been known throughout their history to have a little bit of racial tones. There's no telling what they may say. But I know we're definitely rooting for Kyrie, man, to go up there and handle business. But Tim, you was about to say what again?
Yeah, I was thinking about, he actually learning what on offense, what the point guard does. So that boy is a student of the game. He reminds me of all the centers back in the day who was like a free safety, right? They would actually tell and direct everybody where to go. And he said this already in interviews. Way when he first started, he wanted to learn that and make sure he was doing that as far as talking and communicating. But even more than that, he actually pushes guys and he tells them, if you watch some film, they even show in practice, he tells guys, hey, get here, get there, move up here. There's he's calling out the plays and what's happening. Well, there's a shooter over here. He's talking that talk. He's talking like a free safety. So I love that. That's the cold key. That defense is real important, man. I can't wait to see how, because Boston plays a 5-out. All 5 of them be at the top of the key, so it deals with a lot of one-on-one. So how do we deal with a 5-out instead of a 4-out? Most of the teams we played were 4-out, not 5-out. And Dallas is a 4-out team. They play 4-out. The only time they play 5 is with Cleveland. I don't want that. So and we didn't do well when we played 5-out against Boston early in the season. So when we played them and we did a 5-out, it wasn't a good plus minus. So I think we need to stick with what we are. Don't do what we did against Golden State and start appeasing with them. And remember we played Golden State and what's that? Avery Johnson started to play. He actually took his centers out so he can match it with Golden State. Played right into their hands. So we can't play into their hands. We got to make sure we stick with what we're doing and what's successful with our 2 centers in the middle.
Yeah, I certainly agree, Tim. I certainly think we can't, and I think that we will. I think Jason Kidd, he's done a wonderful job and maturating these guys up and getting them to believe, to buy in, to be able to connect with one another and paying attention to details and to be able to communicate. And I think that's gonna be one of those deals, man, where it's gonna come. I think, especially in that drama moments, that drama time. I think that experience, that togetherness, all of that, I think is going to prevail more than Dallas. We'll get more into it, a little bit right before who we got. I know who we have, but prediction of how many who will get the 4 first. That's what we want to talk about. So, guys, let's kind of segue real quick because I want to talk about. We had some news today. Unfortunately, man, one of the greatest. I would really say if they would have asked him to play center, he probably would have played center too. But one of the greatest tackles, definitely left guards to ever play the game of football, Larry Allen, passed away today at the age of 52. So we want to talk about Larry Allen for a second here, guys, and bring out some of the memories of Larry Allen. And when you think about Larry Allen, what comes to mind? And Tim, I'm gonna come to you first.
Yeah, I used to, when I wasn't playing with Dallas, I would come back and we would talk because I would hook up with Michael Irvin and a few other guys. We talk in the locker room about different subjects and stuff like that in the locker room and stuff like that and at the facilities. So I used to go to Cowboy facilities all the time. I used to talk to Jimmy and everybody during that time. I would run into Larry Allen every once in a while, but it wasn't too much of a conversation. But his aura, his energy was always special and really good. He had a really special gentleness about him. He's a gentle giant. Because that guy right there, for his playing, I consider him the greatest lineman that ever played the game. That's me. Because he played every position but center, like you said. And he played them at extremely excellence. His excellence was just, man, you can't even compare it. He was so dominating. Man, he would dominate people. You talking about pancake and just running over people. Everybody's kind of like roadkill for him. And so he was so special, not only as we're talking about as a human, but as a player. Man, he made that line truly special. Anybody would have loved to be behind him, and anybody would have loved to be a friend of his. So it's a tough loss to have, man. It really is.
DA, I know you San Francisco 49 is your team, but I know one thing about you. I know you do respect all great players if they got the goods. What is your sentiments about Larry Allen? What when you think about Larry Allen, what does he remind you of, or what memories come to mind?
As a player, couldn't stand him. Couldn't stand to see him. He was just too strong. He was too tough. Him, and when Charles Haley went to the Cowboys, I just couldn't stand to play against him. He was just too much for the average or even above average lineman. I mean, he just throw people around. He was just some of the best defensive linemen in the game. He would just mash them into the ground. I remember when he did to Dwight Freeney a couple times. He was a lot, man. He was a cool, always a cool cat. You never saw him just out of control emotionally. I didn't, and I live in Dallas, so I see more of Cowboy news and stories than I do San Fran. He was just always under control. And for him to, I guess you can be that way, man, coming from Compton, getting stabbed up and, 4 different high schools and, till you make it somewhere where it's like, hey, I finally found peace. He probably appreciated just being away from all that, being in the league, something positive, something he loved to do, something he was good at. So you got to applaud him, man, for going through all that and then becoming probably one of the top 2 offensive linemen that I ever seen play.
Well, before I give my comment, I know something that really stays in my mind when I think about Larry Allen. But before I make my comment regarding him, let's take a listen to former teammate, all-time NFL leading rusher Emmitt Smith and his reflections.
Good afternoon. I'm sitting on a back patio reflecting about one of the best offensive linemen I've ever played with, Larry Allen. And I get a call. My Border Scholar called to tell me that he passed away. I'm at a loss of words right now. Such a good dude, great player, super person, and deaths, bad weather, all kinds of things swirling around. Lost my folks and other friends. It just breaks my heart. And I know life is very fragile. And we're only here for a moment. And we need to make the best out of every moment and not take people for granted. Pat sent me a text last night about not taking folks for granted. And here we are today. All I can say is live the life to the fullest that you can. Love those that are closest to you. Try to love those who are not near you as best as you can. Let's cut out all the bickering, all the separation, all the hierarchy and all the things that separate people, families, friends, culture, whatever you want to call it.
Wow, and that's from former Dallas Cowboy running back, again, Hall of Fame NFL running back Emmitt Smith. And as you can see, he's very touched by that because Larry Allen, you talking about gaping holes. Emmitt ran through a lot of them. And the thing about Larry Allen was he was from a small school, like Summerall State, I believe it was. The man bench pressed 700 pounds. You're talking about being able to move people out of the way. I'm a player. Hopefully, I have this clip here by Jason Tucker. If I don't, I'll just come in a little bit on it. But let me play the clip first, because here's the play. I think the plays of all plays as it relates to a big lineman. When I think about Larry Allen, this is the play that I think about.
5 minutes left in the half, and it's knocked in the air and picked off by Darian Connor. And Connor is inside the 40, the 30, and tackled at the 16-yard line. Larry Allen, I can't believe that. Be a break. The rookie from Sonoma State. This guy weighs 325 pounds. Wayne Martin batted it. We think Darian Connor with the pick, and Allen saves the touchdown. I can't get over that. He runs down a very speedy linebacker. A little bit of an angle, but this is a huge man. This guy's got a rocket booster strapped to his back. All right, there's the bat by Martin. Right into Allen is still standing there. There he is to the left of your screen. Didn't even get a running start at it. Look at this, folks. 6'3", 325 pounds. His arms like a sprinter. I'm telling you, that's one of the most impressive.
I mean, wow. 6'3", 325 pounds, moving like that. When I think about Larry Allen, I think about that one play on Monday Night Football that's etched in my memory. I'll never forget. When I saw this man come out of nowhere and walk this man down. Man, what a terrific play. And I think, my sentiments echo with I never had a chance to, like Tim, unfortunately, to meet Larry Allen. But from afar, you can tell how his teammates, man, was around him, how they loved him. Rocket Ismail and them, he was pushing, bench pressing the 700 pounds, how they was all just jeering him on, man. And everybody was happy for him. And, it was just an excitement time to see this man grab 700 pounds off the bar, and the steel bar is like bending. That was big time. And so again, I think about Larry Allen and how he moved people out his way and was able to go from tackle to guard, which is not always easy to do. But he made the transition and made it all the way to the Hall of Fame. So I wanted to shout out Larry Allen. Let me see. Blessing is asking the question, who did he play for? Yeah, he played for the Dallas Cowboys, Blessing. Not San Francisco. No, not San Francisco. I don't know, but when he left the Dallas Cowboys and towards the end of his career. His career was just about over with. I can't remember right off the top of my head who it was. but I know he left and went somewhere else right before he retired. I think he may have played another year or two in the NFL before retiring, coming back and retiring with the Dallas Cowboys. So we don't really know what happened. I'm not aware. Maybe y'all do. If you do, you can shout that out in the comment for me. I know he was on vacation somewhere, I think in Mexico, from my understanding. So they really don't know as of yet. I don't know if they know now while we're on air what really happened. But again, our condolences from the replay to his family, his wife, his kids, his mother, father, any of his relatives, man. I know it has to be it's a tragic loss for the Allen family. And when you think about it, we talk about death and how it comes around and it's short, and we think we got so much life. And that's why I always say we plan and God plans, and God is the best of planners. And we got to always be mindful. You have to be mindful because some of us are in that third and fourth quarter of life, and it is situations like this when we need to be reminded how precious life is. So had to shout out, man. Oh, it was San Francisco. Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Big Gary, man. What's up, Gary? Gary G in the house.
Y'all used him up, then sent him up.
And I almost said San Francisco, but I wasn't for sure. Though. I wasn't for sure.
I didn't remember it.
Yeah, from 2006, 2007. So big shout out to Gary Bourne. That's one of our Hutch brothers, man. Former quarterback, TCU, stand out. Yeah, man.
Man, one last thing, man.
Sure.
When Emmett was talking about, you kind of have to don't not take people for granted. You know who's excellent at not taking people for granted that I think, and I've always thought this, like out of all the players, I've always thought Michael Irvin was probably the greatest person at just showing love to people while they're here. It just seemed like he always celebrated people, man, celebrated his peeps a little more than other players. So I think when it comes to that type of stuff, Michael Irvin, he gets it, man. He may be doing it subconsciously, but he's always that person that's showing love to whoever's around, whoever he's on the show with, wherever he goes. He's always that person. So I think he gets it.
Yeah,
you're definitely right. Because he's showing that same love to me. Anytime I see him, he looks at me, he tells me, say, "Oh, you can play right now. I see you at that playing way." Why he's looking the same way, right? Yeah. But he's saying it to me, So he definitely that. Da, you hit it right on. I'm not gonna say no more because you hit it right on the target.
Yeah, I gotta bring blessings up. She said, "Oh man, I was right when she was talking about San Francisco." She said, "I only knew because I saw the colors of the uniform." So I gotta. Okay, yeah, Gary, yeah, she beat you to the punch, Gary. I gotta, recant a little bit. Blessings did have it up first, but I appreciate the both of y'all for shouting that out, man. Yeah, he did finish up the San Francisco 49ers.
And I didn't remember that. He probably was hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to send another shout out, man, to his family and our condolences to the Allen family. Hopefully, God comfort you all through your tragedy, and maybe they'll have more information coming out pretty soon. So guys, we're gonna segue real quick over here because we got a situation, man. I thought, how can I say? Well, we had still have a couple of boxing matches coming up. But one boxing match in particular, let me just double check something right quick. I got a question for you guys. I got this question for you guys. Let me see. Let me get to this right quick. I need to know. I need to know. Is it time? Let's see here. Let me make sure.
Yes, way past time. Whatever you about to say.
You know what I'm about to say, Let's see. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it up, man. I need to know this, DA. Now you already know what I'm probably put up here. Is it time for Deontay Wilder to give it up? He fought this past weekend, and he fought a guy that outweighed him by 68 pounds. 68 pounds. We know that Deontay Wilder haven't never been much of a boxer, the Brown Bomber they called him. He always loaded up with the big right hand looking for the knockout shot. But look at this here, man. I mean, the guy outweighed him by 68 pounds. But he take a fight like this, not showing any boxing skill. He don't use his jab. I mean, and you go get knocked out in the 5th round. So, do you think, DA, that it's time for Deontay Wilder to hang him up?
I said it was time for him to hang him up after the second Tyson Fury fight. After Fury busted him up that second time, I was like, what is wrong? What is it that this dude doesn't have? Or, I mean, I guess we might just think, I think the stereotype of a heavyweight boxer probably got to us. Like, he's a black dude, he's a heavyweight, he's supposed to dominate this this weight class. He's black. Ain't no way he's gonna let any of these other dudes beat him. I think we just got caught up in the hype. But when I saw Fury beat him down, I was like, nah, I ain't fooled by this dude no more. He needs to go do something else. And he did. He went on a hiatus to find himself. And I was like, dude, that's good for other things, but that ain't gonna help you come back and beat nobody up. You gonna get in the ring and be worse than when you left. So yeah, man, way past time, man. Way past time.
Tim, what do you think done happened, man, between and it all started way back with Tyson Fury. They had the first fight, and well, I guess depending on who you ask,
yeah,
some say that he actually won that fight, but it was a closer fight. But then he went off talking
That's
about
why I said that second one.
It was some padding the gloves and all this other stuff. But between that first fight and now, there's been a big drop off. And whoever he's training him, because right now I don't think he's gonna, he can beat Anthony Joshua. I don't think if he fought Tyson Fury again, he can't beat Tyson Fury. Who else is there?
He's got a fight scheduled for August.
That's crazy, especially with this shorter time. You're talking about we're in June.
They got to cancel that.
I don't know why he won't just fight light heavyweight. Why is he fighting heavyweight fighters? He has no boxing skill, and you can't. I don't think you can change his DNA right now in terms of what he is. But Tim, I'm coming to you. I mean, what has happened with this guy, man, between the first or second fight with Tyson Fury?
I just love your analysis while you were asking the question as well. So, you went a deep analysis as well too. I'm thinking about actually, it's funny. He should retire. The only reason he's boxing is for money. Gotta be, because his skill, like you just said, he's a puncher, and he's not going to learn to be a boxer, and so he's relying on that right hand. And so when he can't get that right hand in, and if somebody got reached and keep him from distance, and then now he's taking punches. His defense is not good, so he don't even have good defense. So you got terrible defense. You're a puncher. You don't know how to box. It sounds like you should be giving it up. The only reason he's fighting is for money, and he better be careful that he ain't gonna be able to enjoy that money. That's right. Why we talking about the subject in the first place, because he may not be enjoying his money because of he gonna get he gonna have a concussion. He gonna be able to do it. So we gonna have what we call CMS. But also I want to say this real quick. The heavyweight division, our best athletes, especially black, I bet that's not playing not boxing anymore because the money not as similar, but it's still good money you can make without actually getting beat up like that. So our best guys are not choosing. They choose a different sport if they can. So not best athletes not choosing boxing as much.
So I want to know in the comments, do y'all think Deontay Wilder should retire? Because again, the last few fights that I've seen, he just haven't had it. He does the same thing. And if you ever notice, he'll walk around the ring and he'll kind of give you this setup with his left shoulder, but he's still loading up with the right hand. Like he's just looking for that one shot. And I can't believe whoever his trainer is, that they're not teaching this man any other type of skills. Counter punching, jab, something.
Nothing. Man, he hit that joker and he popped that joker. He did a 180. He looked like he was like, where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? Like he popped it.
Yeah. You talking about around?
Like, where they at?
I thought he was trying to find the ref.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness, man.
I thought he was trying to find the ref. Hey, ref, where are you?
Yeah, it was like, where did everybody go? They turned the lights out.
I mean, this is embarrassing, brother. It really is. It's embarrassing, man. And somebody need to tell him to stop it, man.
Man, the Saudis offered that dude some money and that because he was in Saudi Arabia, right? Wasn't that where the fight was?
Yeah, you could be right, D. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah,
But
I know. Like, they all about money over there. They offer you that
yeah,
money.
yeah, you're right.
You
You're
gotta go
right.
get
You're
it.
right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And so again, that's what happened to Mike Tyson. That's what happened to the great ones. When Mike Tyson started to fight for just the money, because he mentioned that about feeding his family, we're in the hurt business and we got to feed our families. When he started taking that attitude, that's when he really started to go downhill. He started going downhill, really after Cus D'Amato, if you ask me.
Oh
When
yeah, without a doubt.
and then the other trainer that he had, he started going downhill. But when he started just taking fights for the money just to feed his family, that's never good to me inside the ring, because you can wind up like guys like Mildred Taylor, man. Every time they show Mildred Taylor, if y'all don't remember who Mildred Taylor was, he was on one of the greatest Olympics teams back in 1984, man. The guy, he had brain damage. He had all types of things going on with him, man. They wouldn't even give him a license at one time to even box. He had to go somewhere like way out of state to some small little town like Idaho just to try to get a license to fight. Nobody would grant him a license to fight, rightfully so, because the man had brain damage and he had speech was slurring. I mean, he just wasn't right, man. And now they have to protect these fighters. So I hope that that's not the case with Deontay Wilder. I hope he will go back and look at his performance, because if you're going to put that kind of performance out there, talking about your legacy and what you did in the fight game when it's all said and done, I don't think you want that kind of information or that type of production to be out there. But again, I don't know. But guys, we got to segue real quick, because we got to answer. We stand in the boxing circle right quick, because we got our guy, man. We thought this fight was going to take place, but he came up with an ulcer, and I was hoping to see some of this.
Listen, I started Jake off, and I'm going to finish him. Just come to the fight and you'll see. Day 3, you still want to fuck with me?
Mike is just classic Mike. Mike is just classic Mike. So DA, what you think, man? I mean, are you glad to see the fight being called off, or would you have wanted to see the fight?
For it, the entertainment thirst in me would love to see that fight, but I'm probably one of the few people who think Tyson wasn't going to win that fight. I kind of didn't want to see it.
Oh, wait a minute.
I think, man, if that fight go 5 rounds or more, I think that boy's going to beat Tyson. Like,
I'm checking his temperature. I'm trying to check his temperature.
Let
me ask you, DA.
I don't think Tyson wants this fight, man. That's just me.
Let me ask you this, DA. Is it because you think Tyson was just going to fatigue out because of the age difference, or do you? I mean,
yeah.
Is that the? I mean, okay.
Yes.
If the fight would have lingered out, I mean, even at the age 57, almost 58.
That's old to be fighting, man.
Yeah.
That's old.
Yeah, it really is in boxing year. And if you think in terms of boxing years, he started when he was around 13, 14, somewhere in there. So that's a long time. That's a long time, even when you talk about the layoff. So even on just free will. But now here's the thing. Kind of remind me of George Foreman when he went in and won the championship, heavyweight championship of the world, when he fought Michael Dokes. Yeah, Michael Dokes.
Yeah, but he was 40 though. He was 40.
What I'm saying, he was 40, but I think 42, because he was 40 when
he
he
was
came
a little over 40, yeah.
When he captured the belt. That was a long layoff when you think about it, for him to come back. Kind of sort of like Sugar Ray Leonard. But in the heavyweight, we know in the heavyweight, in a heavyweight fight, it's really just because all of them punches. You can get knocked out with one punch at any given time. It happened with Lennox Lewis when he fought Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman knocked him out with one punch, but he came back and revenged that loss against Hasim Rahman. But you got a puncher's chance in a heavyweight fight. That's why in a situation like this, depending how Jake would have came out, I kind of believe if he would have tried to aggress Tyson and made it a real fight within the first 3 rounds, I think Tyson would have did him in.
Yeah, he could have.
I think Tyson would have did him in. But go ahead, Tim.
I think that was a lifeline for Jake Paul. Lifeline. The ulcer was a lifeline. They put out that ulcer for a lifeline for Jake Paul, because Jake Paul was going to get finished. When you would see that movement he had and that power that he was going to give Jake Paul, and then moving it, because what Jake Paul don't have is a long enough reach. He don't have a long enough reach to actually bother him. And he was going to get up under his reach too, but bobbing and weaving. I watched how he was moving. He was bobbing and weaving really well. He had movement in his head space, which he didn't have the last few boxes he was doing back when he was ending his career. He wasn't bobbing and weaving well enough. This he got back to because he'd been training people. So he's been training people. He's been training himself a little bit. Y'all may not realize that. He's been training some people along the way. So he's been training himself, getting back to his mental. I think it was going to be really tough for Jake Paul. And Jake Paul might have been finishing his career. So I don't know if Jake Paul should be trying to get this back in about 3 or 4 months or whenever that ulcer's supposed to heal. Because I think that was a lifesaver. I think he should move on to something different.
Man, I think Tyson just got. I just think Tyson just not. I just think he probably thought it's just not worth it, man. He tired of training. You know, he probably hadn't been training well lately because ain't no doctor stepped forward and made no medical report. It's like him saying, "Oh yeah, my doctor said I need to chill." Man, where's your doctor?
Let me tell Bless, how old is Jake Paul? Bless him.
Where's your doctor's excuse? We need a doctor's excuse.
Wait a minute. Do any of y'all know how old Jake Paul is?
I don't.
Wait, 27?
Yeah, some young age. He in his late 20s, I think.
Yeah, I think Tyson got about 30 years or something like that, Blessing. But he's definitely a younger guy. But again, I think the experience part of it, give him 3 rounds. I think Tyson could have definitely did some damage in there. But I don't know. I don't know if the fight is still going to take place, or they just decided, man, you know what? Let's not risk it, man. Let's, you put your body
in
training. Yeah, but you got a lot of matches coming up right now because again, we're gonna be talking about it later on because you got Gervonta Tank Davis. He's getting ready to fight Frank Morton, which I think is gonna be a good fight. But I do think I got Tank in that fight that's coming up, and you have who else is fighting? It's another fight I'm trying to remember. I know Bud Crawford's getting ready to fight at 154 at some point too. But that's the fight I'm thinking about immediately with Tank Davis and Frank Martin. But that's going to be a good matchup, I think. But I do think Tank Davis, man, is one thing. Like Tyson said, everybody got a plan until you get hit. So it's one thing to get in the ring with Tank Davis, and you say what you're saying outside the ring, but he's deadly with both hands. So we'll see that fight coming up soon. But again, it would have been great entertainment.
Yep. I got a question, man. Whatever happened to the Garcia failing those tests? That other test came back positive too. So what's up with that?
You know what? I saw a scroll on it, and I caught it towards the end, to be honest with you, DA. But I think it's still under investigation because he's still denying that he took it.
Both his samples tested positive. He was swearing up and down. Oh, the B. Wait till you see the B sample. It's gonna be negative. It's gonna be right. Something's wrong.
If anybody know what happened to the Garcia situation, chat it out for me. We need to know because I know DA just said that both samples came back positive. So unless somebody he's drinking something, but they tell you all the stuff on the list. They give it to you. They give you your tablet.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
So, and then he came in a little heavier. I think he missed it by 3 pounds.
Yeah, he missed the weight.
Weigh in. Yeah. So but that's your responsibility. They'll probably wind up fighting again at some point, unless Devin Haney decide to fight Shakur Stevenson. But I know Tank Davis said after he finishes off Frank Martin, these are his words. After he finishes off Frank Martin, he wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. So we'll see how that works out. But they got to make one of those fights in that triangle, or Devontae Haney may have a rematch with Ryan Garcia if he don't get suspended. So I think he's still trying to appeal it, or whatever the case may be. But if anybody know, like I say, chat it out in the comment for me, and we'll definitely find out what's going on with that. So guys, y'all check this out. I know coming up we got the culture report, and I got a question because I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about on Friday on the culture report as far as Jabril's Q&A before we get to DA's Fast and Curious segment of the show. But I want to preface this, and some of y'all may have seen this, but I want to preface this before I show this video. That's the saying when they talk about stupid is like stupid does, right? At least that was my initial thought. However, I will play a second clipping based on what happened in the whole situation. Now that we got the full disclosure and information, Tim, you might want to put your fingers in your ears on this a little bit. I don't know, but here it goes, guys. We're gonna talk about this, man, because when I saw this, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" But here we go, guys.
Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present in Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Hey. You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant has turned himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Dum-da-dum-dum.
Yeah, just
Man.
drive on over to the jailhouse.
Man, listen, you can't make this up, man.
Can't make
You
this
just
up.
can't make this up. And he was so jovial and so happy to the point he was like, "Yes, I'm pulling over."
That's exactly the Bria. That's exactly what I was about to say. He was proper with it. I almost sounded a little zesty. Oh yes, just in 1 second. I'll be stationary in just 1 second, Judge. Like, dude.
Oh my goodness. So this went viral. You can't make this up, man. He's driving the vehicle while on a Zoom call. If nothing else, you park, man. Park.
Get out the car.
Hold on for a second. Park and get to the passenger side. I mean, why would you drive? And this is, it was crazy to me. Go ahead, DA.
Gabriel, not only are you suspended, you trying to drive on a Zoom call. Like, all of that. Just you driving on a Zoom. They don't recommend that. They don't recommend people do it. People do it. But you gonna talk to the judge while you driving, and then you suspend. And was proper.
I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was a blessing. She said he has left his mind at home.
Yeah.
He wasn't driving. He was a Tesla. I know that's right, blessing.
He can drive right on to the jailhouse.
I couldn't believe it, man. When I saw this. But now, that's when I saw it. But let me play the other clip because I had to go back and research this. And here's the full disclosure of what happened when this all went viral. Hold on just a second. Boy, this is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy. But let's play the other clip, and it's going to give you the full disclosure of what actually happened in his situation.
Fallout after a man was seen driving during a virtual court hearing for driving on a suspended license. Today, Corey Harris talks about why he was behind the wheel, but he also says he should not have been charged in the first place.
And 7 News reporter Kimberly Craig talked to Harris and checked into that suspension.
After he was busted driving on a suspended license, Corey Harris had to report to the Washtenaw County Jail here. And today I asked him what everyone wants to know What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? I was thinking about getting my wife medical help. That's what I was thinking.
Corey Harris said that's why he was behind the wheel earlier this month when he appeared before District Court Judge Cedric Simpson, who knew Harris was appearing on a charge of driving while license suspended.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
We spoke to Harris by phone today, and he said the doctor wanted to see his wife for some ongoing medical issues that had worsened, and he didn't think about anything but getting her there.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
Corey Harris was cited for driving while license suspended in Pittsfield Township back in October. He said it was suspended for unpaid child support. Secretary of State records show his license was first suspended for child support back in 2010. But Harris told us he thought his license had been reinstated.
They were supposed to have lifted it two years ago, but they didn't.
And according to the Saginaw County court records we found, Harris is right. In January 2022, a judge rescinded that suspension on his license, but for some reason that information never got to the Secretary of State, where even as of today, his license is still listed as suspended, the same records the judge was going by.
This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
It's very embarrassing, and with the type of ties that I have with the church and the community, it's very embarrassing.
Thursday afternoon, Harris told us he was going to the Secretary of State's office to try to straighten out everything between them and friend of the court once and for all.
Always double check behind these workers, because they will say that they will do something and they don't do it.
And they don't do it, guys. But hold on just a second.
I got to give that brother a slight reprieve.
That's why.
But he's lying. He's lying about that wife part, though. He wasn't taking his wife to no doctor.
He made that up.
Yeah, he made that part up.
He was going to the doctor because he was headed to the doctor's office.
He was going to the doctor, right, Tim?
He said,
because the first thing I would have said is, man, my wife had a medical emergency, and I had to drive. But if he didn't know it was suspended, then I guess he didn't think it was a big deal.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully they get that straightened out. But it was just too funny, man, not to be true.
Oh, that was hilarious, man. And I was glad I did another little deep dive into the story just to make sure. And I was glad to see that they actually had, what actually happened once the judge told him to report in at 6 p.m. And I'm glad to know that he had some saving grace and that they actually had made a mistake. But man, when I first saw it, I said, man, you can't. I mean, even though that was a situation, I just still would have been thinking, like, you know what, until I get this resolved, I'm going to pull over. I'm not going to even come on screen if I don't have to. But I'm definitely not going to be. If I am on Zoom, they're going to say, well, Mr. Richard, where are you at? I'm on the passenger side. Somebody's driving. They went into the grocery store for a second.
Correct. Yeah, the driving on Zoom part. Yeah.
I still have one problem. I still have one problem with the lawyer. The lawyer knew that his license shouldn't have been suspended. So she should have stepped up, and I don't know if they didn't have more videos showing she said
I don't think she knew. If the judge didn't know, she probably didn't know because they were looking at.
No, she's his lawyer, so
she should have
supposed to figure out. Yeah, she's supposed to figure out. I'm hoping that's his lawyer. Was it?
Yeah. I think he had a court. I think he had a court-appointed attorney. That was his.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So she didn't even do no research. You get a sorry court-appointed. That's what I'm talking about. The problem with the lawyer. Because she should have said immediately, hey, we're fighting this, because she did say that that's what the charge is. She should have went further and said, yeah, but his license is not supposed to be suspended. So his license is not suspended. She should have said his license is not suspended.
But if it's showing up in the system as suspended, who's going to know?
Well, if they were the reporters looked it up, so the lawyer should be able to find the same information that the reporters got on the TV. So they should have been. His lawyer should be able to get the information that says that Because there was records showing that 2 years ago that actually it was lifted. So she could have said that to the judge.
If she
didn't know because she didn't do a job.
If she didn't do a job, exactly right. Had she taken the time out and did some discoveries and stuff like that.
Man, she probably had 40 cases that day.
Yeah,
she ain't doing
but
no
that's one of the main reasons why you have to be your own paralegal. That's one of the main reasons why you have to become your own paralegal, because you're trusting them to do it for you. And that's how he dropped the ball. But man, I mean, like you said, I was embarrassed, but I'm like, man, because these people here, man, I mean, shoot, you don't do it yourself. These people, like DA just said, man, they got 40 cases they looking at
that day.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. What was his name? He said, "My mama always said that life is a box of chocolates. You never know what."
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So you gotta be prepared for sometimes things come out of nowhere. When he got that call, hold on, before I accept this video, let me pull over
on Zoom talking to the judge.
Yeah, talking to the judge. I don't care what I gotta go hide out. I gotta deal with this the right way. It's a judge.
That's right. Well, God, I had to bring that up right there, man. But let's get into the Q&A a part of the show. This is the Coach Report. We're coming straight to you from the replay where we're still trying to make your day. Shout out in the comment and give us your thoughts about the show and what we're doing in the content, all that great stuff. But guys, here is the Q&A and the question of the day. Basically, it's going to be something I'm going to just go back to what I talked about when I was solo dolo on Friday as it pertains to, well, just give me a second. Let's go. We'll get into that just a second. Okay, guys, I got a question. DA, I'm coming to you first because I know you're going to want to talk about this here. And that question is simply is this. I'm going to try to play a video if I can find that video real quick again, because I talked about it again briefly on Friday. But DA, I want to know, is Charles Barkley the perfect corporate guy? I'm using your word, DA. I said token. But hold on for a second. Let me. Is he the perfect token guy? And hold on, DA. And before you answer, let me just set for those who wasn't able to watch the show or hear me talk about it last week. I'm going to play a couple of videos and give you the reason why I'm saying. But DA, you definitely gonna come back to you. But this is why I say, why is he the perfect token guy? Because he love putting down certain players, chunking rocks, throwing rocks at a glass as if he live in a glass house or don't live in one, however they say the saying. And that bothers me, man. And so, but this is something he said, I showed this last week, something he said years ago. Listen to this.
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court. Parents should be role models. Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
Okay, say now, DA, I want to come to you and ask that question again. Is Charles Barkley the perfect buddy guy, corporate guy, token? There you have it. You have the flow. It's yours.
Man, I could take it one step further than that, but I won't. He is like he's him, Stephen A, Shaq to a certain degree. They are so you have to, in order to hold those positions like that, you have to be able to just denigrate your own at times where it's let's say it's all of us we're thinking about when that Kyrie story came out, for example. We were thinking, oh man, they are tripping. Like that serious. He, shared this or he made this statement. That's in situations like those, that's where Stephen A. and Charles make their money. They have to come out and defend these certain people. They have to bend over backwards to show, oh, I got y'all. He said, let me do it. You don't come out and say anything about him. That's what you pay me for. Let me go out and just try to belittle this man and make him look less than, unintelligent or just ignorant. So that's why they make the big bucks. They go on camera in front of a national audience and chop down basically black men. Not saying that's all they do, but
It sounds stupid.
It's certain cases where they have to do that in order to make the big bucks. And I really just never liked Charles Barkley because I think he's only on the show because he's a buffoon. He's on the show because he makes statements like, "Oh, he's a dummy," or "They all stupid," or "He's a dummy." He has to make those kind of statements to be, "Oh, that's Charles can say what he wants to say," but he's really not. When it comes to, if you ask me, when it comes to a lot of the basketball things, he ain't no better than. I'd rather listen to y'all talk, than to listen to Charles Barkley talk. So that's my take on it.
Before I come to you, Tim, let me echo something about what DA just said. DA, you hit the nail on the head, man, because I think they take certain individuals. See, now, I'm going to tell you something. Kyrie Irving is I'm talking about all-time favorites. I love going back and listening to his interviews, his post-game interviews, because he's very measured when he talks. He's very articulate, and he gives you a more broader consciousness than just talking about. When you listen to him talk, he's really speaking on some high-level type stuff when he's talking. And he'll be a kind of individual where they wouldn't give him a broadcasting job just because they're holding on to the past or so-called afraid that he may become political or may say something. That's one of the reasons why he's not on the dream team. I mean, not the dream team, but the USA basketball team. But you hit the nail on the head, DA. They put people like buffooneries like Charles Barkley, and it almost made me feel like if somebody's sitting back with a string in a little room, about 15 people, and say, watch how we put these Negroes up here, man, and watch them dance for us and spread this about the African American culture and say certain things. Because I'm gonna tell you, Shaq wasn't even on that until Charles Barkley said that Kyrie Irving was an idiot. And say, I can't believe we're not talking about basketball. We're sitting up here talking about this idiot. And then Shaq turned around a few minutes later, echoed the same sentiments that Charles Barkley just said. The smartest one that kept his composure was Kenny Smith. And I like Kenny Smith because he's going to try to be fair in his assessment and he's going to try to speak with balance. But these two fools, the big man, I say sometimes, man, you sound so stupid.
Can't understand.
Quiet, man. Please be quiet, please, man. This is the general. Ice is hot. And you don't own none of them business outright. You JV all your business. Let's get that understood. You don't have 100% ownership of nothing, Shaquille O'Neal. So let's get that understood. You a dunce, man. You a dunce, and I'm sick of these dudes. If you don't have nothing good to say, man, like our mother used to say, don't say anything at all. And what they should have done was simply got on the phone the way other athletes did and went and talked to Kyrie behind closed doors. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a brotherhood. But that's one of the reasons why Michael Jordan stopped talking to his fat behind Charles Barkley, speaking about Charles Barkley, because Jordan said, you know what? Dude, I ain't got nothing for you. Jordan would even look at him at the 75th anniversary of players. But go ahead, Tim.
That's why they call it entertainment sports. Okay, sports entertainment. Because that's why they put those type of guys on there, for entertainment. And they're talking about sports. So it's sports entertainment for that particular reason. That's why they put it on there. But that doesn't take away, because the sad part about this, and you guys actually y'all points on that context matters. Everything we've been talking about had to do with context. The situation we just talked about before, context, right? One where you see that little thing, the situation happen, right? With no context, he's a buffoon, right? With some context, okay, he was driving because his driving license is not suspended, and he's getting ready to go fight it. Okay, so that's context. context, Kyrie is sending out something that actually reveals some things that he was learning about, which had to do with nativeness, about the natural order and what's going on with the Americas as well, right? And all the things, and all what's going on with Israel. That's context, right? All these different things have to do with context. Yet these guys who are supposed to be reporting don't find the context. The great thing that you did, Jabril, you went back and got the second video to show some context to that situation earlier. All the stuff that has to do with context. And you see a man, and like I was talking about earlier, about him evolving and growing and actually having that specialness about himself of actually trying to spread out. I call it philanthropy. See, when we spread knowledge and wisdom, that's philanthropy. He's doing it with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a really smart guy. Right? He has a good conversation. I bet they have real good, deep conversations about a lot of subjects. And so he's pouring into men, kind of like Kobe did before he passed, right? He's pouring into men all this wisdom, this knowledge that he's gained over time. And he's actually tried to share that publicly. Of course, the public, when you start to share things like this is what he's grown to learn, though. When you try to share these type of things of knowledge and wisdom, they will villainize you, and start to attack you, because they don't want that information out.
Right. I certainly believe. And I'm gonna tell you something. Even if Kyrie Irving was in the finals with the, if it was the Los Angeles Clippers, I would still root for Kyrie Irving, man. Just because how they try to vilify him. They tried to vilify him in the media. They tried to, sully his name. They tried to talk about his character. He was called, an idiot. This dude went to Duke. You just don't go to Duke just being an idiot. That's another thing. And so for those individuals who was pouring down, I wish I had the other clip too, where it was on Get Up, and they was talking. One of the guys went back to talking about the thing that Kyrie had done. See, I always want to check, go backwards, and I forget who it was. It may have been Jason Williams, or one of the former NBA players, and he was talking about, are we talking about then, or are we talking about Kyrie of today? Because he's entitled to mature. He's entitled to look at the situation, and then if you really break it down, what did he say wrong? I'm still waiting on that. What did he really get wrong? What did he have to apologize for? I think I had the list up there regarding what they was wanting him to do. They just gave a mandate down. Oh, this is what he needs to do. I'd have told that, y'all, you know what, man? I'd have went home with my basketball. I started to say something else. I'd have went home with my basketball. I got enough money. If I do smart investments, I'll be all right. I'd have pulled a Jim Brown by way of Barry Sanders on them jokes before I'd have did anything on that list. Based on, they want to say, we're going to see if you're going to kowtow, Negro. We're going to see if you're going to bow down to the masses and do what master say. I'm telling you, I took my basketball home, DA, before I would have bowed down to what that mandate was. Go ahead, Tim.
Think about all the things that we found out about the vaccine, right? All the illegal stuff that went on about the vaccine. They villainized this guy really more than anything else. They got him on the early one. They really villainized him when he was talking about that vaccine. And he refused to do things that would compromise his body.
Right.
And they made him a villain at that time. For all those who haven't taken that vaccine, you definitely understand it. Especially if you was in the corporate area and actually they was trying to force you to do so as well too.
Right.
That is sad, man. So many people have that in their system now.
But I'm putting it up right here, Tim. This is what, in order to be reinstated by the team, Irving must fulfill 6 requirements, according to Shams Charania. Apologize and condemn the film he promoted. Make a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes. Complete sensitivity training. Complete an anti-Semitism training. Meet with the ADL and Jewish leaders. Meet with team owner Joe Tsai to demonstrate an understanding of the situation. So they really call him a dummy. I don't care how you try to word it, as if he don't understand. He knew exactly what he was saying when he said it. But you all didn't go to Jeff Bezos like that because it was Jeff Bezos company and his money is long. Stephen A. tried to come once again, corporate guys, DA, trying to come to the rescue, talking about what the difference is. Jeff Bezos, he signs the checks, while Kyrie is getting somebody else is signing his check. What do they have to do with anything when you're talking about principles, man? This is the stupidity that you just talked about earlier, DA. This is what we're talking about. This is why we do the cultural part of this show, for ignorant statements like that. But I did a long blasted video when it first came out. I wished I could have been standing next to Kyrie when he was at basketball practice and he It's like he was defending himself, man. I would have been like, say, man, stand back. Let me talk to the media. Because I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the whole Judaism and all of that. I'm just going to go. I'm going to take you on down through there and the lies they told. I'm going to give you about Josephus. Have you read his book, The Jewish Historian? I'm going to get on down through there with y'all and let y'all know y'all are not the original people.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's why I'm glad he's with the Mavericks. That's why I'm glad he's with the Mavericks.
Man, he got a,
Mark
Cuban said, and Mark Cuban said, I saw it, and I saw that before prior to you sending it to the DA. But I love what Mark Cuban said. He said, when you embrace Kyrie Irving, you can feel the love. The dude got so much love to give, man. He does so much charitable things that we wouldn't even know a lot of times, the things that he does. So I'm so happy to see this guy, man, playing for going for another NBA championship. It just happened to be in my Dallas Mavericks uniform, and I'm like a proud father or something, man. So I'm certainly planning on, man, being right in front of the television. Hope I'm gonna be at AT&T Stadium down there trying to get a bag off of, make some money off of if I can. You know,
you better not go to AT&T. You be at the wrong spot. You better not go to AT&T Stadium. You're gonna be in there looking for Cowboys somewhere.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. We've been doing this a long time, DA. A long time. With nobody, look here. Ever since when they were Reunion Arena, had the owner Donald Carter, and people would just walk up and give you a ticket, $20 ticket, with nobody even go in the games. We've been doing it a long time out there on that block. I was out there and we lost in 2006 against the Miami Heat. And I remember seeing Gary Payton coming across. They was going to the after party they had over there with Chris on. And I want to walk over there, man. They beat my Mavericks and came back. I just wanted to because I feel like we got robbed. I really do. They send that guy, Dwayne Wade, to the free throw line 32 times. But that's another story for another day. We got our revenge in 2011. So I'm talking about these 2024 Dallas Mavericks, and hopefully I think we're going to definitely go in and steal game one. I really believe that. It's going to be a series. But guys, we gotta almost wrap up the show. So we got to get to DA's Fast and Curious. So let's do that real quick, man. Let's see what our boy got for us, Tim. And
I want a jumpsuit. I want to pitch in a sweatsuit.
You want to pitch in a sweatsuit? God dang it. Hold on for a second, guy. Yeah, I don't know if y'all
or a baseball cap or something. And Tim need his own segment called
Okay, here we go. And we're gonna get the Tim segment too. Me and Tim talked about it a little bit. I don't know.
I ain't me and you ain't. I just know I'm like, we need to have a breakdown segment and let him break something down.
But we're gonna talk about this Fast and Curious. What you got for us, D? I'm the winner so far. I'm the reigning champion. I think I've been keeping
reigning champion.
I got more than anybody.
Reigning champion.
Hey man, I'm the reigning champion.
Make up stuff, don't you? Make up stuff, don't you?
I think it's about 20. I think it's about 20.
Imagination once again
running away with me.
Just my imagination. Say, I got 20 wins to Tim and your 15, man. I'm gonna claim something. But go ahead, DA. It's your floor.
Y'all ready?
We ready.
I'm starting with you. Since you the GOAT, I'm starting with you, GOAT. Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
I'll take Josh Allen. Godfather 1 or 2?
1.
1.
Even though I really like 2, I gotta go with 1.
They both are good.
Yeah. Robert Kraft or Jerry Buss?
Jerry Buss.
Jerry Buss.
I mean, who was Jerry Buss? Oh, the LA. Oh, yeah.
I thought you were saying Jerry Buss. You over there saying.
I thought he was trying to be funny with Jerry Jones. To be honest with you, like Jerry Bust. He talking about Jerry Buss.
Yes,
Buss. I got Buss.
Jerry Buss, definitely.
Jabril?
I'm saying Buss.
You saying Buss?
Yeah, Jerry Buss.
I give y'all that one. Jerry Buss. Skydiving or mountain climbing?
Mountain climbing.
Mountain climbing. I will skydive later on, but mountain climbing on regular.
Yeah, skydiving. Hawaii or Miami?
Hawaii. Waikiki.
Hawaii.
All right. Opera or symphony?
What was that again?
Opera or symphony?
Symphony for me.
That's a good one. Symphony.
I go with symphony. I don't like this. We all agreeing too much. Symphony. Harlem Nights or Life?
Ooh.
You know
I
what,
got
man?
Life.
I'm gonna say Harlem Nights because of the All-Star cast, man. I'm gonna say Harlem Nights.
Oh, I like Life better. I love Harlem Nights, but I like Life better.
I say Harlem Nights because of just the stardom in it.
It was yeah, exactly. That's why I say
Life was a better movie. Harlem Nights was better.
Yes.
It was had its.
What y'all think out there in the chat out?
Hard, you know?
Right.
Y'all like who y'all think in the chat out? Chat out Harlem Nights or Life? What y'all think? I want to hear from the chat.
Let's see what you got.
What movie y'all think was better?
Jason Witten, Jay Novacek.
Jay Novacek.
Jason Witten because of whole career.
I'm saying I'm Jay Novacek because he moved the chain. That little ugly running funny joker he gonna run that goofy run.
I like Novacek.
I'm taking Jay Novacek.
All right.
And he got 3 rings.
Darryl Green or Darrell Reeves?
Ooh.
I guess in both of their prime, man. Wow, that's a good one. That D. Woo, man. I'm gonna say Darryl Green, longevity.
He was my teammate, so Darryl Green.
I like Darryl Green, but I think Reeves was a beast. But so I mean, when I call the names, it's just whatever popping in your head. Longevity, you pick. I just like Reeves Island. All right. Derek Jeter or Alex Rodriguez?
Oh, Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. Character, man.
Character matters. He was a player, but he's a pretty cool dude. Other than that's probably his biggest, the biggest scandal on him was he was a womanizer. But hey, he was single. Scottie Pippen or Allen Iverson?
Allen Iverson. I'm gonna say that fast. Not even a question.
I'm gonna take Scottie Pippen. I'm gonna take Scottie Pippen.
I got Pippen all day.
I'm gonna take Scottie Pippen. I need somebody to defend. I'm a guard. I'm gonna shoot that rock, man. I need somebody
all day.
Y'all talking about personal job, but I'm talking about the player.
Man, that's
Scottie
what I'm
Pippen
talking
ain't never been at the top of anything as far as when he was playing.
Oh,
never at the top.
But
he had 1 year where he actually seemed like he was gonna be there, but he never was the top. Allen Iverson's been the top. It's not even a comparison. He couldn't guard Dominique Wilkins. He get dominated by him. He got dominated by Scotty.
Give me Scotty all day.
By Mark Aguirre. All his contemporaries. I'm talking about his contemporaries he played with.
Reggie White, Aaron Donald.
Ooh, Aaron Donald.
Ooh, that's a tough one. They play 2 different positions. I want them both. Reggie White.
I got to go with the Minister of Defense, Reggie White.
Well, you bet. Well, all I do is I'll just hire Eric Williams out there, and I'll be okay. Okay. Next.
Hot dogs or tacos?
Tacos.
Tacos. Them hot dogs, you just don't know what's in them no more. George Foreman or Joe Frazier?
George Foreman, because he knocked the hell out of Joe Frazier.
I know.
I mean, every time the man got up, he jumped up and went back to his knees. So George Foreman, I don't know how I don't know how you gonna pick, because you look like you about to pick Joe Frazier. Well, I'm taking big George Foreman. Yeah,
because if you talk about career, you can actually hit something with Joe Frazier, right? But when you say he versus George Foreman,
I didn't say versus.
So you got to George Foreman.
I didn't say versus.
The man off his feet.
I didn't say versus. I know
you say versus, but when I look at it, it comes in my mind. Him
I got Frazier.
Going like this, looking all crazy.
I got Frazier all day. Ronnie Lott or Darren Woodson?
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott. Robin Harris or Bernie Mac?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a good one there, boy. I'm stumped.
I would say this though. That electricity he had in that short time, he was a shooting star above Bernie Mac. So I'm gonna pick Robin because he's that shooting star. not
I'm about to go with
longevity.
Robin Harris, BA.
Yep.
I'm just talking about because off the dome, just pure comedy off the dome. You ain't got nothing you wrote out or nothing, just off the dome. I seen this with Ron Harper when he brought the video back with Spud one day. He was showing us the video, and the dude literally took the microphone and went around the whole room and just, I mean, and you know, if you can tell a joke against Denzel Washington, because Denzel Washington was supposed to be the man back then, and when he looked at, I'll never forget this, Robin Harris looked at Denzel Washington and said, "Hey man, what you looking at? Goddamn head looking like a question mark."
Yep. I remember I saw that video.
Yeah.
Man, they showed the back of Denzel Washington's head and it was curled like this.
Yeah.
Boy, I hollered, man. I was through. I was no good, man.
I thought that was in Mo Better Blues or something. I thought he said that in Mo Better Blues. All right.
Well, it might have been Mo Better Blues.
Yeah.
It might have been Mo Better Blues.
It was.
Man.
It was.
But I seen that same video with him just walking around, just
Baby
just
Kids. Y'all remember Baby Kids? That was funny as I don't know what.
Right.
Yeah.
I got one for y'all. This is kind of trolling, but
is this the last one?
No, not yet. I got two more quick ones. Pride Month or Mexican American Heritage Month?
Oh, Mexican, you know, Mexican. I'm with Como esta?
Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo all
That's
day
simple.
long.
I'm not even answering. Y'all know the answer. I don't even need to say a word on that one.
Hey, slam dunk contest. You got Jordan or you got Vince Carter?
Yeah, they had that deal. I saw that, man. I'm gonna take it. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a real good one, man.
You know what would have been good about it if actually they was doing it versus each other?
Versus each other.
Then I would actually, because Michael Jordan will adjust his dunks when he'll adapt himself when he's going against somebody. But just by off of the dunks they did do, I'll take Vince Carter.
I think I'm gonna try to take Vince Carter.
I got Vince. 3-point contest, Bird or Steph?
Steph Curry.
Oh, Bird.
I take
Steph Curry.
Whew.
I'm taking great.
I had to flip a coin on that, but I'll take
whoever lived. Steph Curry.
Okay, last one. You need 2 free throws to win the game. Derek Lively or Gafford?
Mark Price. Now I'm just saying, Gafford. Gafford. I'm taking Gafford. Daniel Gafford.
Well, he ain't been there when it came down to the end, so they haven't done it with him. And Lively has improved quite a bit, but he have his moments. I'm gonna take Derek Lively.
I'll take Gafford because Lively is running around the court like trying to make sure nobody touch him. That means he's really nervous about them free throws. I'll take Gafford.
He was, but I think he's come to a place. Kyrie talked to him, so Kyrie came that father figure again and kind of said, "Hey, you stop running. You take that with confidence. We got your back." Yeah, he did. Yeah. He made 2 after that.
That's
too.
the last one.
Man,
we could do a whole show on some of these we disagree on. I'm telling y'all, we can do. I got a list of ones we always go back and forth on.
Okay, well, that's going to almost conclude the show, man. Before we get out of here, man, we got to do these shouts out. And, of course, I'm definitely going first. I got the biggest shout out this evening, none other than to my youngest son, man, Khalil Amir Rashad. He went and got his high school. They graduated this past Saturday, man, from C.E. King High School. And I was so proud of him. And this is how I look for a parent. Proud parent, man. And that was his grandmother yelling so loud, man. You could hear her way down in the deal. But it was shout out to the whole graduating class of 2024 at C.E. King High School. They had a little bad weather. Actually, it was supposed to be outdoor. They had to change the venue, but got through it, man. He graduated with a GPA of 3.7. He's going to finish up his associates first and foremost at San Jac College, and then he'll transfer. He's already been accepted to the business entrepreneur program at the University of Houston. So big shout out to my son, man. That's who I'm shouting out, man. Who you got? Who you got, DA? Who you shouting out, DA?
I got to shout out Evan Anderson, NBC5, man, for getting that interview done, getting it on the morning show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The full version kicked in Sunday. His report about our team and talking about what we've been doing, what we've gone through, and we've actually had people to reach out, man, say they're gonna try to help us find a van. We've had donations, so everything. So I appreciate it, man. Just putting us out there like that, man. So
big time, bro.
Right.
Big time, big time. I salute you.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna be giving with you, man. You need my service, but whatever we need to do to take the show, man, with the kids. But go ahead, Tim. Who you shouting out?
Oh man, that's beautiful. I'm shouting out to my nephew Warren. I'm also for all the high school graduates and Keith Jr. Young, a young man that I've mentored and led for many years. Also for all the philanthropists, DA, philanthropy is not just about the money; it's also about the giving. And for all the giving of time, energy, wisdom, and knowledge is part of philanthropy as well too. And so I'm saluting you on that one as well. Saluting you as a father who got a graduate, and saluting all those out there who understand what philanthropy is all about.
Right on.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So, guys, this is going to conclude another edition of the replay where we always say we're trying to make your day. I appreciate my brothers, Tim, Action Jackson from Nebraska, Daryl, Alexander the Great, my boys, my co-hosts, my brothers from coming on with us doing this. Still, big shout out to our boy, man, Jeff Booker. We know he's on that track team, dealing still with that. They're finishing up their program, so he'll be joining us as soon as he get an opportunity to do that. But I want to thank everyone that came on to Blessings and everybody who, Gary Barnett, those who chatted out in the comments, those who just felt like they just want to chill and listen. So we appreciate y'all. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share button, and notification so you'll know when we're going live. We on the show Mondays and Thursdays. We may miss this Thursday, guys, because the Dallas Mavericks is playing, but I worked it out with my fellas. Maybe we'll go live after the game. But we normally on from Mondays to Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So from me to yours, thank you all for joining us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And always, always keep God first. This has been the replay, again, where we try to make your day. Salute, love, peace, and soul.
Sim Salabim.
And God's grace to all those and blessings.